On this episode, I'm going to show you how I've taken staining my wood projects to the next level. This three-step method has made a world of difference from when I first started woodworking 10 years ago. I do a lot of rustic or modern farmhouse pieces, and for the most part, I take a freshly cut piece of lumber and turn it into something that looks like it's been around for 100 years. But for that to happen, you can't just slap some stain on a piece of board and call it finished. By following what I'm calling the DML method, I've not only been able to increase the wow factor, but also the cash flow. Hey, speaking of cash flow, what I'm about to show you is completely free. Okay, let's get started. People ask me all the time, how did you do that? So, figured it's time to show you. I'm going to be working with a white pine 2x6. This board had saw blade marks and some nice knot holes, so it's definitely a good choice for this demonstration. The first thing I'm going to do prior to staining is prepare the surface. The only thing I sanded was a couple of spots that had some stamp markings. So now I'll just wipe it down with a damp cloth to get off any lingering sawdust. I use a variety of tools for staining. Chippy brushes are great for applying the stain because they're cheap and you can just throw them out after you're done. I'll also use small brushes and even the stir sticks to get the stain into specific areas. The D stands for dark. I'm going to be using ebony first. It doesn't matter if you want an overall dark finish, such as walnut or something like golden oak. Start with a stain that's a few shades darker first. I'll first focus on areas such as these deep knots and other indentations. I'm taking the stir stick and just going to dab a small amount of stain into these spots. As you see, I don't let it sit very long. I'm taking the rag and dab the stain to soak up any excess and then feather it out. I'll also focus on the naturally darker areas to make them pop out even more. Again, just dabbing on some stain with the thin edge of the stick, dab with the rag, then feather out. I try to use only a little bit of the dark black stain and wipe up as quick as possible. If not, it can be a little difficult to wipe up. The next letter in my method is M. It stands for medium, but it can also be for main. M is the main color you're shooting for. I'm using Early American, and this is also going to cover the majority of your project. As you can see, I don't just dip the brush into the can and spread the stain all over the board. I'm working in sections, getting the stain into the grooves that the saw blade made and onto the larger knot areas. I'm also not dabbing the area to get the excess off. Instead, I'm trying to really work it into those grooves. As I apply more of the main color, I want to point out the dark area on the right. Before I got started, I dropped the stir stick which had ebony stain on it. I tried wiping it up as quickly as possible, but as you can see, it made a fairly large dark spot. Most people get frustrated and think the project is ruined, but just wait, you'll see how it looks when finished. Alright, so I added more of the main color with the brush, and we'll work this into the grain again with the rag. As you can see, I'm using quite a bit of pressure, trying to really work the stain into the wood, and at the same time, remove as much excess stain as possible. The rag is going to absorb that excess stain. So from this point, I just start wiping over the entire piece. I'm not adding any more stain by brush, I'm just using what's on the rag. Remember that dark spot? It's barely even visible now and has blended in nicely. So now we've completed the first two steps and you can really see the texture of the wood and the different color variations starting to come out. That brings us to L. It's not necessarily the last color, but it's the lightest shade. I'm going to use the stir stick method again to apply golden oak, only because I don't feel like wasting a brush. I start by only applying this to any spots that I can see that are still bare wood, or any other light areas that are showing. Let it sit for 30 to 60 seconds and then wipe. Notice that I'm still using the same rag. Since this is oil-based stain, there's going to be a bit of stain absorbed into the rag. As those colors blend, they're actually creating new shades as you continue wiping. This project is going to be a set of shelves, and the ends are exposed, so they'll need to be stained as well. I'm using the brush to apply only the medium stain, and then use the rag to blend it. Just another quick wipe over with the rag, and that pretty much wraps it up on the DML method. It's pretty simple. Just remember to go in order from dark to medium, then light.
So here's the final product. I don't know about you, but I think it looks pretty good. And it's because I took a few extra minutes to add some variety. What I didn't go into detail in this video is how I finished it off, so be sure to check out this video right here on applying a water-based polyurethane next. And hey, if you took away something from this video, can you do me a favor? Just hit that like button below. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Hey friend, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, check out this video and subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest.